Hey yo, it's your boy Monster Man Rocco.
It's your boy Swagger Rock.
This is Snack the Ripper.
And you rap for those who don't know.
Master Ace. You are now rocking with the best. Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records, man.
Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records.
Breaking Records.
Breaking Records Radio. Let's go.
Breaking Records Radio.
Press 5-9. Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records, man. Radio is like the place to be. I don't fuck strange music, dude.
For a little bit longer, you know, I see some people out there talking about, oh, now we can go back to work and stuff. It's like, no, you gotta wait. Like,
yeah, you just need to pay attention to what's going on. I think there's a lot of shit going on beyond the virus too.
Yeah.
You know, so I think you just got to be real smart right now.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Did you have anything in the works? Like, I know, you know, a lot of artists I've talked to, this has kind of messed them up. Like, I had Robbie G on here yesterday. He had to basically postpone his whole 33-day tour. Pace One, when I was talking to him last week, same thing. He had like a 20-day tour he had to postpone. A couple other artists I talked to have been dealing with that as well. And I know you're on the road a lot, so I was curious, did you have anything kind of lined up that's kind of got in the way of messing up for you?
Yeah, I mean, as an artist, I had a run coming up that I think was going to be it would have been in May.
Yeah.
It was a nationwide tour. And then you can hear me all right?
Yep, you're good. Can you hear me?
Yeah. And then I also had like my booking agency that I own. I think we had about five or six dates, probably about like 140 shows, like 5 or 6 festivals. Everything got pushed, plus, you know, just a bunch of stuff that was in the works that we had to like really push. So, I mean, on that side of things, it definitely slowed things down, and on the touring aspect and stuff. And then, I mean, with the music shit, like at first, I didn't want to drop nothing. Like I wasn't even hearing it. Like I didn't think it was the right temperature. I didn't think it was respectful. I thought, you know, dropping music was kind of inconsiderate at first. And I mean, I feel different now at this point. But at first, that's how I felt. Like, I wasn't really thinking about eating and money and stuff, because I feel like I'm good at the end of the day and I'm not in no hurry to get to it. But I just felt like that was kind of the play. And now I feel like it's like total opposite, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, that's the thing too. It's like, it's one of those sticky things, because I can see that, like how you wouldn't want to put music out either. But like, the thing is too, when it lasts so long, it's kind of like, you know, what do you do, right? You can't just put everything on hold forever, right? But,
nah, definitely not. But I mean, I think it's sussing everything out too, right? And understanding and just being respectful of what's going on. But I mean, the outpouring of messages and things where I've said a couple things like that has been crazy. And then like, I'm not really into the whole Instagram live shit.
Yeah.
I've said no to a lot of interviews. I just did like a panel right now on like more of like business.
Yep.
And then doing this now and stuff. But like, that's not really where my focus in my head's at. Like, I'm not starving for attention or starving for any of that stuff. And I just never really felt like, you know, I'm just around smoking weed right now. I'm not doing nothing.
Yeah.
But I think it's important. Like, I know, you know, like I think it's connecting with certain people I'm definitely still networking like crazy. I'm definitely still taking meetings and doing things like, you know, we just booked something really big today. We're starting to work with a company that's doing live shows on like a platform that they created.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's like paid gigs for people. So it's like, you know, some artists are making double what they make at live shows, because you're going to be in front of a bigger audience. So, I mean, there is some light going on right now. You know, some things are going to go differently and they're going to be different, but some things are really going to work, right?
Yeah, definitely, man. And that's the thing too. It's just about being creative and creating new opportunities and new ways to work around this, and, you know, to get the stuff out there. You know what I mean? Because like, well, first, before I even continue, I just want to say thank you for your time. Because like you said, you don't do the IG live a lot. I'm not actually one to really see you on here. You've always shown a lot of support since we started. You know, you helped us lock down a lot of interviews, especially in the early days, man. You know what I mean? You know, we've always had a hand there to help, you know, have us come out to shows, that whether we take pictures, do interviews, or just to have our, you know, our people in the building. to talk about it on the show. You've always, you know, been there to support us, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate your time to chat with me tonight too, man. Like, I appreciate it a lot, so thank you.
Bro.
But yeah, man, definitely. Like, that's the thing. It's this, with this whole thing, it's like, people just got to find new creative ways, and what you're saying, that's dope. I really like that. And I think that moving forward, when things go back to normal, I think that this will kind of be part of the new norm too. Like, I think, you know, you're gonna start seeing these things, like what you're talking about, a platform where people do like digital shows, stuff like that. I think a lot of things will continue to be implemented because they're gaining so much attention now. You know, like, there's stuff that I think people never really thought of prior to, right? Like, even Instagram live interviews, it's like, never really do it.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true, because they are smart. Like, I'm not saying that, you know, there's some people that have done crazy things with the Instagram live, like Tory Lanez and you know, the Versus series that Timberland and Swiss Beats have put together. But, like, you know, just even that, for example, like, seeing what those guys have put together. Like, last night they said they had about 4 million people tune in, but ain't nobody get paid.
That's nuts.
You know what I mean? And, like, I'm not saying that money's everything, but money is everything when we're talking about business.
Yeah.
It's the only thing we're talking about when we're talking about business. So, you know, opportunity is money in a different form of currency.
Yeah.
So, you know, that I'm talking about that too, but it's just, I think, being smart about this stuff. And like I said, there is some people, like, you know, Pat Stay's doing something that's really dope right now.
Yeah.
You know, what makes a lot of sense. He's not chasing nothing. He's just, you know, working hard and put something together that's dope that people like, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just different. Like, you know, it's just, like you said, it's adjusting and everything. And I mean, I'm not, as much as I'm like, I'm a people person, I'm not like this type of people person. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's for sure, man. You know, you've always been a cool guy, you know, as long as I've known you. But yeah, I've never known you to be like the dude to be on live and any of that stuff. I don't think I've ever seen you live, to be honest, actually.
Nah, I've never been live. I think that's why there's 15 people here. It's all good though. It's not like I don't enjoy it and shit. I just, you know, it's just not me per se.
Well, you know, I'm kind of the same way too. Like, you know, we're close. We're close in age, and you know, we're coming up. Like, we didn't have stuff in our face all the time and all this shit. You know what I mean? Like, we dealt with
I'd be in jail for life.
real life. So, like, it gets a little awkward sometimes until you really get used to it. Like, talking into a phone by yourself and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it feels kind of feels like fucking insane. Like,
I mean, I definitely grew up in the social media era, but I mean, I definitely don't put everything on social media, if that makes sense. You know, like, there is a world beyond social media when it comes to this business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of, you know, some of the biggest people I know in business have the least amount of followers, the you know, the least amount of interactions. They're private with 150 followers, but, you know, they make $60 million a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so I guess it depends how you're looking at things.
Yeah, because those people, you know, they'd rather have money than attention, right?
Yeah.
And if you're making a lot of money, you don't want a lot of people to know you got a lot of money.
Well, if you're not making it correctly, I guess that's the statement.
It depends.
Yeah.
Some people just don't like stunting, you know. But yeah, man, you know, you've been in this game for mad time, man. You know, you got a long history. So much stuff that, like, to potentially cover. I doubt we'll even get to all of it. You know, I'm gonna attempt to get to as much as we can. But you know, I first came familiar with you when you were doing the Paperboy tour with Royce the 5'9". I seen you guys in Hamilton. I can't remember the name of the club, but it was right downtown there.
Absent.
So, I can't remember what the name of that club was, but it
called
was
Absent Lounge.
Well, yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Super dope show, man. And you know, that's when I first came familiar with you. I'm pretty sure you and Royce performed Paperboy together that night. And yeah, but, like, you know, that was the first time I ever came familiar with you. Then I believe was that before the Naughty tour, or was that after?
I don't know, bro.
You can't remember?
No, I don't remember. It was probably before, just kind of putting things together. that was probably one of the first like smaller runs I did, because the first tour I ever did across Canada was me, Royce the 5'9", Joe Button, D12, and Classified.
Okay.
And me and Classified, or I was opening for everybody. And then I think before that tour or after that tour, I shot my video with Royce the 5'9" for Paperboy.
Yeah.
So that would have been like one of the first couple things I ever did.
Wow.
That was like really just getting in the business. I was like, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, that was probably like when I first got into the business.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was dope.
That's crazy.
I like Royce a lot. Royce and his manager, his brother, everybody, they gave me a lot of opportunities when I first started.
How did that whole like relationship come to be, especially with you being
My
like
bad, my phone keeps.
Oh, good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, my bad, my phone keeps ringing.
Oh, okay. But like, how did that whole thing? Because you know, being me, like coming out to these shows, I was living in Brantford at the time, so I wasn't even in Hamilton. I just knew Royce was coming. I'm like, oh shit, we got to go to that, right? We go, I'm introduced to you, your music, and like you just had like a larger than life kind of thing, like aura about you from the jump, right? Like I assumed you'd already been doing this for time, you know what I mean? Just with the way you conducted yourself and the professionalism behind everything, and just your image, the way you guys carried everything, and to find out years later that's one of the first things you did, it's kind of like, whoa, that's crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, that's just, I think like I got to learn the business from some really good people.
Yeah,
I was, when I was 16 years old, I was going into the clubs trying to get DJs to play my music and in other people's parties and shit. So it's like I kind of got to watch a lot of stuff, and I understand the business, and I understand it. Like I just said to you earlier, if social media was around before I was rapping, I'd be in jail forever. Yeah. Forever. So it's like I understood that shit wasn't gonna help me. When I was trying to do business. Like the first show I ever did, I was on stage with 50 people. Everybody wearing white t-shirts. You couldn't tell who was rapping. You didn't know who was supposed to be the guy. And then it was like, this don't make no sense. So that stopped like immediately. So, so it's like learning the business young and having good people to teach me, I think right away, or learning from like bullshit that was going on too, like learning from mistakes I was making that other people were making that I got to see firsthand. I think that changed a lot of stuff too for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not always the most professional person. I don't, it is what it is, but I think I've learned over the years. I've grown up right in front of these artists' eyes too, right?
Yeah.
And I've grown up as like an artist and as like a business in the business and shit. So things have changed, but if you ask people like, like guys like Chic or Jadakiss or Styles and shit, like I was booking shows for them when I was 20 years old, like nationwide tours and fucking up, like behind the scenes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. But making things right, but like I made like those guys, I made a lot of mistakes and those guys grew with me. So like, those type of people dealt with me different. Like, Chic was the first one who called me when my daughter was born, like the first person that called me. But
really?
At the same time, it's like if I was short $1,000 on something because I miscounted, he made sure I put it up,
Yeah.
Or I booked 17 shows and 2 of them fell. I still got to pay for those shows.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to keep those business relationships going and stuff. So I'm just saying that people like that got to see me grow, like, from not understanding shit to understanding a lot more than I ever did.
See, and one thing you said there too that's very important that, I think a lot of artists really take for granted is that whole concept of like, you saying, booking a tour, 2 shows flop, you still got to pay for them. And a lot of artists talk about this like, oh, pay to play mentality. And what they don't realize is that it's a lot of money and a lot of resources and a lot of time that goes in behind these things. And these artists who are complaining are not the only work you have to do is sell a minimum amount of tickets. And if you can't do that, then fucking give them away and come out of pocket. You know what I mean? Because that's what everybody else up on the totem pole has to do to keep these relationships intact and stuff, right? I don't think a lot of people really see the inside. A lot of times they look from the outside and they're like, oh, yeah, like, you know what I mean? they're quick to try to discredit someone before they really even understand what the hell they're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the first like big show I was ever on, the first big show I was ever on, Jadakiss didn't get over the border, and I sold 198 tickets by hand. Maybe 298, but I think it was 198 tickets by hand. That was my first big show I was ever on. I don't even think I was 20. I was like 18, 19 years old. So like for something like that to happen, you know, was a huge kick in the face, because it was like I was making like $5 or $10 a ticket.
Yeah.
I was about to open for my favorite rapper. I was about, you know, like all this kind of shit. So, you know, people don't understand. It's like I was selling 900 tickets by hand for other shows when I was like, okay, I'm done working for other people.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's like I didn't really want to work for other people at that point. I wanted to kind of put that opportunity together myself. And I know a lot of people complain about, you know, having to sell tickets to shows and shit. But if your name doesn't sell tickets, then your hand has to sell tickets. Like,
yeah.
I mean, everybody sells tickets. It's just they sell them differently. Like Jay-Z's name sells tickets. You might have to just do that. But the whole pay to play thing, I'm not with that. If you can't sell the tickets, you're not, you know, when it comes to that side of the business, you just don't perform.
Yeah.
You know, and if you cover them, then yeah, give them out. Like, don't buy tickets and have nobody at these local shows. Like, that shit sucks.
Yeah.
And a lot of people complain about that. But I mean, those are the same people that can't do it.
Exactly. And that's one thing. That's why I found it interesting too, because, you know, I like talking to people like you who are really part of, you know, the inner structure of things, because like you said, you're like, you know, to keep these relationships, yeah, I had to fork out a couple grand a couple nights if the shows fall through, you know what I mean? And people on the low end a lot of times don't even put that into account. They just think, oh, money grab, you know what I mean? And it's like, no, like it's the same. It goes the same all the way up the pole. You know what I mean? You can't continue a tour if you're not paying a dude for a couple shows. You know what I mean? That person can be like, fuck off.
No, and that's more on the booking agency side of things. Like, you know, I would get ahead of myself and tell an artist I had 10 shows for them, and then when 2 of them flop, I already signed the contracts.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're in a bad position, and like, you know, thank God I've had good partners and good relationships and, you know, good business people behind me that have helped me take care of situations like that and make them correct, and, you know, just be able to continue moving forward. Because I might be shooting a video with that artist. I might have a record with that artist. I might be trying to get a record with that artist. I might be trying to get another tour with that artist. So, you know, sometimes, yeah, you gotta follow through. And I mean, you can't always, but you gotta try.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. You know, and that's one thing I really respect about like your grind too. You know, I think it's the stuff like that a lot of people don't see, that's not always right on the forefront. You know what I mean? And a lot of things, you know, that people don't understand too is just like the hard work that goes in, and sometimes when it doesn't, you know what I mean, like unforeseeable things, and people are quick to pull blame or point fingers, and it's like something could be completely out of your control, but people, you know what I mean, once again, it's
but
people
you also gotta watch who's saying shit, bro. That's why like 90% of the time people are speaking on shit they have no idea about.
Yeah.
Or they're not really. That's the thing too, is like you got a lot of people that do this as a hobby, which is okay, but they're speaking on the business side. That's like listening to people who play pond hockey about the NHL. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we're not having that conversation. That's not happening. So a lot of that stuff I don't pay attention to, bro. Like,
yeah,
I can't. Like, I go crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't tell people how to grow weed. I just smoke it. I don't know how to grow weed. You know what I mean? I wish I did.
Yeah.
I save a lot of money. But
that's a good analogy. Yeah, man. No, I see that shit a lot. So I just, you know, I really like to, when I talk.
Oh, I see everything, bro. I just don't comment on it.
Yeah.
I see everything, bro. Everything. Every little thing. I have to, because it just keeps me sharp.
Yeah. And then you know you kind of know, you know, it's a chess move when you know who you can trust and they don't know that you don't know.
Yeah, I don't speak on a lot of shit.
Yeah. That's the way to be, though.
It just doesn't make sense, bro. I be fighting about everything all the time. Like, even the coronavirus stuff. Like, people are retarded. Like, my language, excuse me. But, you know, people are stupid. Like, you know, I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going to happen. Shows are not canceled until 2021 because somebody in Pittsburgh said it's a good idea for that to happen, or Pennsylvania, or wherever it was. That doesn't mean that that's what's happening.
No, I don't.
We don't know.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you. I can tell you that I pushed all my tours. I can tell you that, you know, a lot of my stuff's on hold. A lot of stuff has been postponed, but I don't have an answer for you at this exact, you know, moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fact, man. You know, that's the other thing too. A lot of misinformation out there, and a lot of people like to run with that as if they know what's going on. And none of us know a damn thing. None of us, you know.
Nothing.
A person truly, the true definition of a dumb person, in my opinion, is someone who thinks they know what's going on. You know what I mean? Because you can know as much as you can about something, but unless you've really looked at something subjectively from both sides and really examined the gray area on anything you talk about, you don't know shit. And even then, you still have an opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a fact.
For real, man. But you know, I want to take it back to like one thing I came across on a comment on one of your old school photos, and it kind of it sparked my interest because I was like, oh shit, this is the underground PJ shit, you know, before even I would have came familiar with you on tours and stuff. But can you tell me a bit about the battles in the Ajax Pool Hall basements?
Oh man, that's like the first shit I was ever doing was like freestyling at parties, and we used to hang out at the school by my house. So like freestyling at like house parties and schools, and like I used to battle in, I think, the basement of a place called Billiards.
Okay.
So I was probably like 14 years old, 15 years old, and that was like the first shit I ever done, or I ever did. And I was the first like battle I ever did. I battled Organic and Nameless in like the finals of this shit called Freestyle Ant Battle at the Mod Club.
Wow.
In Toronto. I lost. Nameless, I think it was Nameless. Nameless and Organic both came for me. So it was like the two of them against me, coming for me in the finals. I punched through a window when I walked out of the place. I thought my career was over, bro. Like I thought that was it for me. Like I thought, oh my God, I just lost a freestyle battle in Toronto. 16 years old, I'm fucked. Like this is it. Like I'm screwed. So that was like the first shit I ever did, because like there was nothing. Like I used to like rap into my speakers over like breaks on people's records. Like yeah. There was no opportunity for a white rapper from Ajax. That don't make no sense, you know.
That's crazy, man. That's a wild story.
Yeah. I don't tell many people that I battled Organic, because he Organic's one of the best battle rappers in the world. He just don't battle rap because he owns the league.
You don't got to.
Nah, you don't have to. He's the boss. But trust me, he's the best. I mean, Pat Stay might put hands on him now, but Organic is good.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. So what year would that have been, if you could remember? Like,
I'm talking about like 15 years ago. I was 15, 16, 17 years old.
That's wild, man.
Crazy, yeah.
I wish I could find some footage of that stuff. Man.
Nah, man. We find that shit, we're going to burn it. There is no footage of that shit because I lost.
Isn't it funny, though, how much that matters at the time, and looking back now, it's like it's something that matters not at all.
Nah, it don't matter at all, I guess, but I don't know. It's hard to it does matter though, because if something like that happened right now, I'd still be pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I don't battle, because I don't have, like, I'm not a good enough person to let you stand there and fuck me up like that for 2.5 minutes.
That's what Method Man, I'm pretty sure, just said to Pat Stay on their interview. They're talking about battle rapping, and Matt's like, yeah, I don't think I can do that with you guys. He's like,
hell no.
Talk shit to my face for like 5 minutes.
My people ain't gonna put up with it. I'm not gonna put up with it. It's not happening.
Have you ever considered doing King of the Dot, like even early in those days, or were you like, nah?
Nah, because I lost to Organic, so I'm like, the fuck? I'm not gonna be good at it. Like, I could see when I was like first started rapping, I could freestyle but not battle. Yeah, there's a big difference. I could still freestyle right now, but battle, nah. I never prepared for a battle. I don't. That's not me. Like, I think, you know, I have a sense of humor and shit, but excuse me. Like the way like a Pat Stay's my favorite battle rapper in the world, and I think he's the best Canadian battle rapper there is. He's probably the best in the world too. But I just never prepared for it. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole different thing, man. You know, it's like
You got to be mad smart, like a different kind of smart.
Oh yeah, it's a different kind of smart, man. You know, like you could write the best songs in the world, but preparing for a rap battle is like,
yeah, it's different. Plus, people are gonna dig up some shit, right?
yeah,
I don't want to do all that.
Yeah. That's the crazy shit, man. People get all CIA on you, and they start bringing out envelopes.
They're gonna make up shit that's not real. It's still gonna piss me off. We're not doing it.
Shit.
Yeah.
That shit can get nasty, bro. But you know, like I think that's super cool though, man. You know, I just love hearing stories like that. Like you know, with the battle you said, like it's just these little building pieces, you know, that kind of get lost in the scene. You know what I mean? Because that's one thing about Canadian hip hop, even Toronto hip hop. It's not very well documented. You know what I mean? And there's points of it that are, but as a whole grand scheme, as a whole, overall, it's not that well documented. You know what I mean? Like New York, all these little stories like this, you know, they've been known for years. They've been written in books. They've been in different interviews. You know, you've heard different sides of stories. But in Canada, you don't really get a whole lot of that. So I love, like, you know, just hearing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of that's about to change and is changing.
Yeah.
You know, there's bigger rappers in Canada now than there ever was. You know,
Yeah.
there's more infrastructure in the business now than there ever was. You know, there's more eyes on everybody than there ever was, all that kind of stuff. So I think that, you know, that comes with time. And, you know, right now, Canadians, especially in hip hop, seem to be doing quite well. So,
Yeah.
you know, if it wasn't for certain Canadian artists, there wouldn't be so many eyes on what I'm doing. I wouldn't be doing so much business or, you know, being able to have the opportunities I have if it wasn't for, you know, a bunch of the Canadian artists that came before me.
Yeah. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. When you were first starting, like, you know, doing some of those first tours and stuff, did you ever imagine that, like, you know, Drake, Tory Lanez would be two of the biggest artists in the damn world, and Canadian hip hop would be on this pedestal? You know what I mean? Like, we were so underground then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I was opening for Drake. I opened for Drake when he was like $500 a night. I opened for him and there was like 3 people at the show. It was like me.
What?
Yeah, it was like me, him, and one other person were on the show. I can't remember who the other person was. So I was opening for him. And I remember I didn't get paid for the show. I think I was getting like $150 in gas money or something like that. And same shit, like it would have been, you know, a long time ago. Like it would have probably been one of his first shows ever.
Wow.
I don't know that for a fact, but I mean, it was like really, really young, like super young. He's making, you know, like 5 million for shows and whatever he's making for shows now. So, but yeah, like, I mean, yeah, at the same time, you have to think this is going to go somewhere bigger than it was. Or why would you do this? Like, I couldn't tell you exactly where I was going to be standing, but I knew this shit was going to work. I went to war over this shit with everybody, with, you know, with friends, with family, with people in the industry. And you know, I lost a lot and gained even more, fighting for what I thought was possible.
Word, man. Yeah, and you know, you've been probably, you know, ever since I seen you open for you know, do that tour with Royce back whatever year that was. I can't even remember now, but I was like 18, 19, maybe 20 times. So that was time ago, man. But like, you know, you've just been consistent. Like that was my first introduction to you, and I don't think I've ever not seen your name active for a period of time ever since then. You know what I mean? So you've been working hard for time. You know, and I commend you for your work, your grind. Like I said earlier, everything you've contributed to the scene, and you know, just continuing to push and working, and you know, all the successes that you've seen. You know, I'm proud of you, man. I feel like, you know, I've watched you from square one. You know, I didn't see you in the battles, but you know, from seeing you on the Royce tour, the Naughty by Nature tour, to, you know, and then up to like last year, you guys are doing Snoop Dogg, you're doing Nelly, you're bringing Wu-Tang down for numerous nights, like all the stuff you're touring with Fetty Wap. It's just like, it's incredible to see, man. You know, I really respect that. I really respect it a lot.
I appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, man. You know, and speaking of some of the big shows, you know, like I just named a few. You know, you've had Rick Homie Quan. I'm trying to think of just all the different artists over the years. Like, just so many of them. I can't even remember. You know what I mean? But like, what was like first tour for you that or show that you brought in where you're like, whoa, like this is like one of my fucking heroes, like where it was like almost kind of awkward, you know what I mean?
Jada Kiss's tour probably, because
Yeah,
I was on the bus with them, and I mean I grew up on, like, Kiss was my favorite rapper,
yeah,
so like the Jada Kiss tour was a big turning point for me. I booked that whole tour myself. Plus, I was on that tour. I was on that tour as well. I think we did like 20 cities. So that was a big tour for me. The Snoop Dogg tour that I just did, that was a big run for me. You know, everything with Fetty is dope because me and Wap get along.
yeah,
So, and I really like his team. Like I like, there's a lot of people on his team that kind of feel like, you know, we're on the same team. So
yeah,
I like fucking with those guys. Going to Europe was amazing with him. Canadian runs and everything with those guys. And then, I mean, everything, like, I don't know. Calgary Stampede was one of my favorite shows I ever played.
that's huge.
Yeah, Calgary Stampede was amazing. We played the Great Cup this year too. That was dope. I mean, I just like performing, bro. Like, I got a project coming out, and it's called 23 and a half, and it's based on working 23 and a half hours a day to get 30 minutes on stage. Like,
Yo,
that's really, to me, what all this, like, all the bullshit behind the scenes, all the good stuff, whatever, all the hard work, all the shit people don't know about or don't see and stuff, like, to me, it's like, it's all in that 23 and a half hours just to be on stage for 30 minutes. Like, I only started booking shows so I could rap.
yeah,
Because ain't nobody, like, whether you think I suck or you think I'm dope or whatever, or you were giving me, like, nobody gave me opportunities.
yeah,
So we created the opportunities for us to tour, for us to be on the road, for us to do shows, you know, like, nobody gave us that shit. It was like, I'm from a place that plays hockey. Like, Ajax is all about hockey. Like, ain't nobody was thinking about rapping
yeah,
when I started rapping. Like, nobody was thinking about it. So, you know, for me, that was, I had to create opportunities for myself. I still have to create. I can't call nobody to book a tour for me. I
yeah,
probably can now. Like, I'm lying. Like, you know, I could call Snoop's partner and book a tour. I could call this guy's manager and book a tour and go on tour because they fuck with me and they like my music or whatever it is. But that stems from me building an opportunity for myself.
yeah,
You know, like, ain't nobody calling Drake for tours. They're deciding when they tour.
yeah, exactly.
They're deciding where they want to go. You could call them with an offer, but I bet you they don't take it.
Yeah, not unless it directly lines up with their plan they already have.
Nah, like, I could go tour Canada right now and perform for 10 people in some cities, perform for 50 in other cities, perform for 200 in other cities by myself headlining. Like, I don't know what it could be, anywhere from 10 to 200 people a night.
Yeah,
But I could also go book a nationwide tour for somebody that's got a bigger name for me, make a higher guarantee, and book the whole tour.
yeah.
Like, that's what Floyd Mayweather does. Look into it. It's the exact same concept.
That's actually really that's now that you say that too, because I've always kind of wondered why, like, you know, I've never seen like you do any solo tours, because I know you got the resources.
I don't have a smash like that, bro. I don't
Yeah.
have, like, I'm just being realistic. Like, I don't have a smash record like that, where it's like, you know, I had records crack the top 20 at, you know, commercial radio and shit like that, but I don't have a smash record, so I'm not playing pretend.
Yeah,
I also know what it takes to be 25,000 a night.
yeah,
I know, because I'm the one telling people that they're 25,000 a night up here, or what they're worth and stuff like that. So, you know, I understand that side of shit. So it's like, I don't really need to play pretend and feed my ego. I'd rather make more money and make the right move.
That's really smart though. I like that a lot, man. I like that a lot, because a lot of artists, you know, especially getting into, you know, doing promotion and stuff, to kind of give themselves the opportunity, I feel like would take the opportunity to kind of put the spotlight on themselves as quick as they can. But one thing I've noticed, not only with you never really doing much as far as like solo tours, you know, you always like take a smarter route, opportunity, like you said, and bring someone with a bigger draw, and then you're still doing these shows, but you're making more money. But you know, which super smart, makes a lot of sense. What was the other point I was gonna make? It'll come to me in a second. Anyways, there's another point I was gonna make off that, but no, I like that. I like that a lot, man. Shit. What was the other point? Either way, I'm sure it'll come to me once we're fucking talking about something else.
It's all good, bro.
I'll have to double back. But yeah, no, man, I like that a lot. That's really dope. And you know, just all the different years you've been in this, man, it's crazy. You know, like one thing I did want to ask you about too. This kind of goes right back to the beginning, but like the Naughty by Nature tour, you know, and you did the video with them. I have it up here actually, because you had a note on it that I wanted to actually ask you about. Where is it? Right here. But yeah, you said it was the second nationwide tour you ever did, and you learned like so much from Vinny and Tretch. And I remember seeing you guys at that funky club in Toronto. I can't remember what it was called, but it had like
Circa.
Pardon? Circa. Yeah.
I remember everything, bro. I don't forget nothing.
Yeah, that funky club with like half human parts and like different
Yeah,
displays
shit was dope.
and shit. Yeah.
That was Canadian Music Week.
Oh yeah, it was too, wasn't it? That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was like because that was that your first or your second nationwide tour?
That's my second tour, like my second nationwide tour, and just those guys were like, I was a puppy compared to, like, I'm still a puppy compared to those guys, but like I was a baby when I was on that tour. So, Tretch is like, technically speaking, Tretch is one of the best rappers there's ever been.
Yeah.
And technically speaking, he might not be your cup of tea or whatever, but technically speaking, he's brilliant. And then on technology and like advertising and business wise, Vinny's super brilliant.
Yeah.
He was on the technology with phones and the internet and all that shit harder than anybody I ever seen like earlier. And those guys were like, I came off stage one night and Tretch grabbed me. He's like, bro, you go up there and cup the mic again, you might as well not perform. Because ain't nobody can hear you. Like, you're wasting everybody's time. Don't do that. Hold the mic like this. Look, it looks awkward. It don't feel right. You don't think you're as cool as you do when you cup it. But if you keep cupping the mic, you might as well stop performing on this tour.
Wow.
I was like, bro, I was so young. I was like, I thought he disrespected me. Like, I remember being like, asking my guys, like, yo, what the fuck just happened? Like, this guy really just speak to me like that? Like, you know, but then I was like, holy shit, like he gives a fuck about me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like a flip side. I learned a lot from people like that. I used to sit down and watch those guys perform. Like, I'd come off stage and go and sit down in the back and watch those guys.
They put on a great performance too.
Yeah, Naughty by Nature, Busta Rhymes, a couple people like that. They're the best I ever seen on stage.
Yeah. Have you ever booked Busta?
Yeah, I did a full tour with him across Canada.
Oh shit, eh?
Yeah, we did like 20 shows together.
That's dope.
Yeah, I didn't book that tour, but I was on it.
Really, eh? Do you got any super funny Busta Rhymes memories? Because that dude's a fucking...
Yeah, he's fucking crazy. He's crazy. We got back to our hotel room in Regina after the show, and my real name's not Peter Jackson, right?
Yeah.
So some people don't know that, but we're at the hotel. It's after the show. I don't know what time. Call it like 2:30 in the morning, whatever. And I'm like, hey, I'm so and so. I'm trying to get into my room. I can't get into my room. My room number is whatever. They're like, oh, that's not your name. I'm like, yeah, but my artist name is this, but this is my real name. And they're like, well, that doesn't work. Like, you have identification with Peter Jackson on it. I'm like, no, how would I have that? Yo, Bus comes in just screaming, let him into his fucking room. What the fuck are you doing? Like, going crazy. It's 2:30 in the morning. We just done. So he's going crazy, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, that's what's up, bro. Like, he's like, I got fucking 15 rooms in this hotel. Give him his room keys. It was funny, man. Like, I was like, I don't even know if we had a full conversation at this point. We're like 2-3 days into the tour. He's not my guy. Like, I'm not standing with him. So when he started doing that shit, I'm like, oh, that's what's up, man. Thanks, bro. Like, he got me my keys in my room and everything. The next day, I was like, okay, so, you know, what do we do from here? I thought we were going to beat the shit out of the guy for not giving me our room keys. Like, so, yeah, Bus is cool, though. And at the end of that tour, he pulled me aside and was like, yo, keep doing what you're doing. It was dope to have you on tour, you know, said a bunch of good shit to me. And that's the thing, too, with all that footage that I've been putting out. Like, those are just, like, minute clips, but I basically have, like, 55 episodes with anywhere from an hour with these people to 30 hours worth of footage on tour.
Yeah.
I have so much footage and so much stuff, so it's just about putting it out properly. And it's just like, you know, at first when this COVID stuff dropped, for me, it just didn't feel right to be thinking about dropping music.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of trying to put some shit out there to like have something to post.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I started doing that, but it kind of opened up a couple doors. I talked to some people at some different networks about it, and you know, I'm sitting on like 3 or 4 terabytes worth of footage.
Shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
From all
that shit,
right? From like the start all the way up to like.
Yeah, like almost right from the start. Almost
wow.
right from the start. Yeah.
Oh man, that's amazing content right there. The hardest part is just sifting through it and piecing it together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that won't be my job.
You'll just watch it after and pull the trigger. Like, yeah, that can slide. Cut that.
Honestly, I'll tell them. I got a good memory with stuff like this, so
yeah,
I'll just tell people what I like. You can go find it.
I'm surprised how good your memory is. You know what I mean? Like even just like bringing up, like I'm like, what club is that in Toronto? You're like, Circa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That place.
My girl said that to me today. She's like, you can't find your wallet for shit, but you could tell me whatever's in the fridge. You could tell me this is behind this, behind that in the right corner, but you can't find your wallet. So she literally just said that to me like a couple hours ago.
Fuck, man, that's crazy. That's funny, man. And one thing I'm happy to hear too, you know, you said that you actually are working on a new project, and I really like that title that you said. You said 23 and a half hours.
Nah, just 23 and a half, but yeah.
23 and a half, okay.
Yeah, but it is 23 and a half hours. I just thought 23 and a half sounded better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got something dropping. On May 1st. That wasn't going to be on the project. It was just a record I wanted to drop. It's called Bill Clinton, and it features like a really big artist on it. But it just felt right timing wise.
Yeah.
So that's coming up May 1st, and then I've got a video and single with Fetty Wap that's done. That I've been sitting on it for a minute. I mean, people know I shot that and recorded it and stuff. So that's coming. And then I got this full project done, 23 and a half, and then I got another whole project done, but that one won't come out right now. But yeah, it's just about like at first I just didn't think it was the right time, but it's like, yo, bro, I gotta eat. So
yeah,
I gotta sell some merch. I gotta put out some music. I gotta book some virtual concerts for people where they're getting paid and not just putting it up on Instagram Live and doing stuff for free. And I gotta just move differently.
Yeah.
You know? So I just gotta be smart about it. But yeah, I got a lot of work. The only thing that sucks is like I'm not sitting on a bunch of videos.
That's the problem with the quarantine, right? It's hard to actually get visuals done.
Yeah, and I'm trying to be as respectful about this quarantine as I can for my parents, for my kids, for me.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, I'm seeing a lot of people I fuck with, especially in the States, more in the States than here, but a lot of people I fuck with. Like I know a couple close friends that spent 2 weeks in Spain in the hospital, spent 2 weeks in New York in the hospital, back out for 5 days and then back in again for 2 weeks. Like, you know, so I'm trying to take that part serious. You know, I do think there's a lot more going on, you know, that it's above my pay grade, so I don't know what's going on. But at the same time, I'm trying to take this shit serious. So it's like I'm not going out and shooting videos, and that shit don't really matter right now is what I've been trying to say. Like, it matters, but it don't really matter. You know what I mean? Like, everything matters until something that really matters happens.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like, yeah, sure, your rollout plan would be great. You know, I had a bit of a rollout plan planned out right now that got messed up. You know, I had to postpone some videos, some promo shit I had going on. But you know what? It's better that than, you know, my girlfriend ended up sick. You know, we got a baby due in 7 weeks now. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, that's crazy, bro. Congratulations.
It's got all the painting and the crib work done, all that. You see what I mean? All my posters are on now.
That's amazing. DM me your address. DM me your address after. You having a boy or a girl? Girl, it's amazing. DM me your address after. I'm gonna send you some stuff.
Oh, salute, bro. Definitely. I appreciate it.
Yeah, nah, that's what I'm saying. That's the shit that matters.
Yeah.
The girl going into the hospital in 7 weeks and being safe.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's important. Not me putting out a video with Fetty Wap.
Yeah, exactly.
Like just that. I'm just being honest, bro. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm having trouble with right now. You know, like just mentally, that's what I'm having a problem with, is like trying to justify dropping a video where I'm smoking 2 pounds of weed and fucking pouring Don Julio on the couch. Like, that shit ain't, I'm not saying it's not fun,
Yeah,
It's
but
not who I'm not saying it's not who I am, but
yeah, when you got people out there who are struggling right now, you know, don't got work and stuff, it's like, it's almost kind of like, I can see how you feel. It's like, you know, it's like, I don't know. It's hard to say, right? You know, like, is it like a slap in the face to your fans, kind of? Is it like, I don't know. At the
I
same
felt
time,
like it was. I felt like it was. But then this is the
that's
thing.
what they want to see.
This is my work.
Yeah.
So I guess it's about approaching it different. But like I said, I'm sitting in the studio right now.
Yeah.
I don't really catch a vibe right now to be writing some shit. And if I was, I'm probably gonna say some foul shit right now.
Yeah.
You know, some people like Mad Child. Mad Child's my artist, right? So
Yeah.
I manage Mad Child, and then Mad Child's also signed to my booking agency. So Mad Child got a record right now that he's just waiting on one or two things before he drops it.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That's literally coming right now. But it's funny. It's dope. He paid attention to what was going on and didn't do the exact same thing everybody did. It's not a coronavirus record.
Yeah.
But he paid attention to what was going on right now and what's important, and he caught a good side of what's happening. So it was smart of him to do that. So, you know, I think you just need to pay attention to what's going on and try to whatever, or justify and be like, yeah, I'm about to drop some super ignorant shit right now, and it's because I did this before. Like, I didn't go out and shoot this video that you're about to see in a week or two, you know, in the middle of this shit, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's the important thing too, you know. But yeah, that's the thing that's hard. It's like, you know, when the material's done prior to this, it's like, you know, yeah, it's hard. But like, I like what you said though about Mad, because, you know, I think that is important. Like right now, I don't think it's necessarily wrong to be dropping content, but it's important to be conscious of the content you're dropping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The record with me and WAP is a club record. It's a radio. It's a radio record more for the U.S. because Canadians format's so fucked up.
Yeah.
For top 40, like, and hip hop is non-existent in Canadian radio, no matter what anybody tells you.
Yeah.
No disrespect. I know you have a radio station, but on the
it's fact.
Commercial side, yeah, on the commercial side of things, it's non-existent. So,
yeah.
well, yeah, because if you're not reporting the plays, it don't matter. If it's not CHR based like that, then, you know, I mean, I don't even want to get into all that because I'll say some shit that'll upset some people. But I think it's just, I don't even remember where I was. I'm high as shit and I lost my train of thought.
Talking about like the Fetty Wap record though, and like how it's a club record and the infrastructure here is not really set up. Like we don't really have hip hop radio.
No, but yeah. Whatever I was saying, bro, I'm gone. I don't remember. So keep it moving.
But yeah, that's the thing too, right? Like dropping a club record at a time like this, even if it's not ignorant visually, it's like, is it the right time just as a business plan to do it? Like, not
yeah.
Well,
no, that's the thing too. You gotta, when you have a real rollout plan for a project, whether you're independent or not, it's not cheap to roll out a project.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, you know, don't quote me on nothing, but if I'm spending 10, 20 grand to drop something, 30K, whatever I'm spending to drop it, like, I got to justify that, and I can't touch nobody. Like, you know, I can't go out and do shows and make that revenue back, or I can't pull up on people. But this shit, that's what I started. I think I did 3 interviews today, and I set up like another 6 for this week. Yeah. But like Zoom interviews and phone interviews and radio interviews. I just started setting interviews up because somebody I do business with was like, yeah, what are you doing? Like, you should be doing interviews with the rappers you fuck with and shit. Just have these type of conversations with people you're close with. And, you know, there's certain people that you could get on FaceTime that other people could never get on FaceTime. So you should start doing that stuff. And I was like, I don't know what I want to do. But, I mean, the interview side of dropping a record, I could do every interview in the world right now if they want to, because we could do them all like this.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it is what it is. I think it's just a different approach, bro. And it's like, I'm talking to you, but when I'm talking out loud right now, I'm talking to myself. Like, it's just a different approach. It's not the same as it was. Like, you know, it's just different. No,
it's a fact, man. You know, and I think coming out of this, a lot of things, I think a lot of things will, kind of be different to some degree. I think some of these changes we've come to, will kind of stay implemented. Like, I'll probably continue doing live interviews. I never even thought of it as a thing until.
Nah, neither did I, but it's smart.
Yeah, definitely, right? Keeps content moving. I still got the radio show, still got my interviews on there separate, but another way to keep people entertained at this time, you know what I mean? They don't have to go tune into the radio show, figure all that out. All they gotta do is be on IG and they can catch the interviews, one every other day, somewhat like that. Just keeps people, in tune, entertained while, they ain't got shit else going on but sitting at home and getting sick of the fucking people they're sitting at home with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Real shit, bro.
Definitely, man. But this thing does cut us off at an hour, so we only got a few minutes left. There's so much history to get into, man. I could go with you for hours, but
yeah, I'm about to smoke. I'm about to smoke anyway, so if you want to cut back in, I'm good too.
Okay, cool. We'll do that then. I'm gonna cut it right now, quick then, just so because if it cuts us off, I don't know. I just want to make sure it saves properly, so I'll cut us off quick and I'll jump back in a second.
All right, bet.
All right, cool. Talk to you in a minute, brother. Yo, what's up? We back in it. Breaking Records Radio. Your man Maloney. If you're tuning in right now, if you missed it, we just did the first half interview with Peter Jackson, man, one of the hardest working dudes here in Canadian hip hop. He's gonna jump back in with us in a minute, I believe. So, I'll just sit here and talk shit to y'all for a minute till he jumps back in. They had us at about the hour cap off, so, I just want to make sure everything got saved properly. Sometimes the IG Live can be a little funny if you don't, take the proper precaution. So, yeah, man, we're gonna keep it rolling. Salute to PJ too, man, because we hit our hour, he could have been like, all right, we good, but, he's just about to smoke up. He said he's good to keep going, so, that's what I'm talking about, man. Just waiting for him to connect right now. We jump back into it. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, holy shit, you're already in a different location.
Yeah, I can't. I got 2 young kids, man. I don't smoke in my house.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I can't neither now either. I'm not going to join you smoking right now, though, because I have to go out to the street and that'll be hella noisy. So
it's cold. I ain't got nowhere to drive. My cars have become my place where I smoke because I ain't driving them around and shit like that. So, I'm lying. My cars always smell like weed anyway, but I'm just,
Do you find since, we've been stuck on quarantine, you've been smoking more weed?
Yeah, I smoke like a zip a day, bro.
Shit.
Yeah, like real shit. I smoke a zip a day. But I don't think I don't really smoke more. Like, I don't know. Like, it's different because I can't go out and do business, but if I wasn't at my house, I'd be in the studio or something,
Yeah.
So I still smoke. I smoke everywhere I am other than with my kids.
Yeah. Actually curious too, someone like, I used to smoke a lot. I don't smoke near as much anymore, once I stopped for so long, I'm not quite as productive anymore. I quit for a couple of years, and once I got back, I'm like a kid in high school again, so I can't function being high all the time anymore. But I'm just curious because I noticed when I was younger and I used to be stoned all the time, performing was actually pretty difficult when I was always stoned, but I never noticed till I stopped smoking it. Do you when you're doing long runs of shows, especially these big stadiums and stuff, do you burn before you do these shows, or do you always wait till after?
No, I smoke like from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, weed's not really a problem with me like that. Like I get, I'm kind of like that with liquor. Like I don't really drink before I perform.
Yeah.
I more or less have a couple drinks after. But before, like when I was super young and shit, I get trashed, and I thought it was dope, but I didn't really realize that I looked like an asshole performing and thinking, I needed to be like super drunk or I needed to be fucked up when I first started rapping. But I didn't need to be. That's just what I had told myself. Like, I got to do this, this, and this. Then I can go on stage.
Yeah.
But then I found out, like, I'm also handling a lot of the business. And even times when people don't think I'm handling all the business, I'm handling all the business.
Yeah.
You know, so I gotta be smart about it like that too. And it's just, this shit is about something bigger than me than having fun. It's like, you know, it might be that town's night out, but for me, it's just another night I'm doing business.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. You know, and that's one thing I think too that you know, people like, you know, Robbie, I was talking to him last night and I commended him on it as well too, because I toured the East Coast with him a couple years ago. And that was my first time really doing a tour outside of Ontario. So I'm like, you know, I'm out on the East Coast. I'm drinking every night, you know what I mean? Shit like that. And Robbie, you know, at every show, he was like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, yo, you want a beer? Yo, you want me to buy you shot?
Nah, don't let him lie to you. He does like peyote and shit.
Yeah.
He does like those ayahuasca things and shit. Don't let him fool you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yo,
He is. He's a very don't. That's funny. He's very professional.
Yeah.
He buys a lot of shows from us. We do a lot of business with Robbie.
Yeah, man. And I commend you guys for having that, you know, being able to separate yourselves from it like that. You know what I mean? Because that's one thing I've always found difficult too. I like to have a couple drinks before a show or whatever, right? But then after, you know, before I hit the stage, just loosen up. But when you're in a new city each night, you're meeting new people. One drink can turn into 15 real quick. You know,
it does. It turns into 100 Jaeger bombs. It turns into 20 bottles and shit like that every night. But I mean, it's easier said than done, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier said than done. Yo, I seen some really big names pop up. Can you see all the names that are popping up in here?
I think Classified was in here. If he's still in here, what up to Class?
Yeah, I seen somebody really big pop up in here. No disrespect to anybody that we just named, but I seen somebody really big pop up in here. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've seen a few people actually. You know, I've been trying not to, you know, slice the conversation off or cut you off when you're talking, but I've seen a few names pop up here. I'm like, oh shit, what's up?
Yeah, this shit might actually be a better idea than I thought.
No, man, this shit's cool, man. You know, you would be surprised. Like, I interviewed Ja Rule's son about a week ago, and Kenneth Supreme McGriff was in the fucking shit. He's like, yo, this is a great interview. You know what I mean? I'm like, shit, Kenneth Supreme has seen me interview somebody.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's wild.
Yeah, there's a couple Supremes from New York.
Yeah. You know, the one that used to be down with Ja Rule and shit, had to beef with 50, you know, Supreme.
I've heard his name before. I don't know who he is.
Yeah, he was, because it was Ja's son, right? But yeah, he comments. I'm like, whoa, that's kind of wild. I'm like, this guy's watching me do an interview. You know what I mean? I know fucking war stories of this guy. He's watching me interview somebody. Like,
yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it's trippy, man. But that's the beautiful thing about this live thing, man. I think it's really cool, you know, because everybody kind of seems to be connected. But one thing you're saying that I think is really important too is, you know, nobody's getting paid from it, which is cool because we're kind of doing the public a service right now. You know what I mean? We're providing content and entertainment for people in a time where, you know,
yeah, I think it's hella stupid.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. Like,
I know I'm doing it. I'm doing it with you right now, but like I said, like I don't do it. I actually think it's really stupid because you know, every artist I know right now, like I don't know nobody's gonna tell you any different, or maybe they will just to front, but like we're all out of work. Yeah. Everybody's like, right now is the most humbling time for a lot of these people that are assholes, and a lot of these people that think, you know, what they do is more important than what somebody else does. And like, I never felt like that. That's why I bust my ass for everything. Like, yeah, you know, and I respect people that are just good people in this business. Like, I don't care about how big records are or who you are. Like, if you're good people, you're good people. If you're not, you're not. And like, I'll move on it accordingly. And, you know, I think it's just a humbling time. And it's not like, you know, we're not out of work. I'm not hurting. I know a lot of people that are not hurting and shit, but like, yo, I wanna get it popping. Like, I wanna do business. So it's like I said to you, I just booked 12 shows for somebody that are all paid gigs online on a platform. And it's the first artist. We're about to do it for like a lot of artists. And I know mad people are gonna do it. I know a ton of people that are gonna do it without us. Yeah. But I'm bringing, like, I'm telling you, this artist is doing it's 12 shows, but he'll make exactly what he made on his on live shows, if not double, based on the way the business is structured on every show.
Wow. And that's without even having to leave the crib.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll make sense because people want to see him perform too. Like, I'm not talking about like every dickhead rapper in the world. I'm talking about like everybody, like that's big, that people are like, this person don't just do that,
Yeah.
you know? And I think that's the thing too, is like, sometimes I feel like I'm bigger than I am. So I don't do like certain things, or maybe it's just my attitude where I don't want to just sit on live and just do that, you know? So I think it's different all the time. It's like, you know, maybe that's not the best way to approach these type of things.
Yeah.
But it's just who I am as a person, you know? Plus I have other shit going on just like everybody else does, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, man, that's the thing. You are got to be one of the busiest dudes I know in this Canadian hip hop shit, man, you know? And it's like, just from being able to manage your music to everything else that you got, all the different, you know, business ventures with the promotion and everything. It's like, that's a lot of time, man. That's why I really like that album idea, you know, 23 and a half. Like, that's dope, because that's like, that sums it up perfectly. And I like how you do it like that. You're like, for your 30 minutes on stage, it's like you put in all that work for that 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I got a lot of good partners and a lot of good people I do business with too that make it look like,
Make
you
it
know,
look effortless.
yeah, not even effortless, but just like make it better than it is. Like, people say like, oh, Peter Jackson's running this tour, he booked this tour, this tour, this tour, this tour, this tour. It's not just me.
Yeah.
It's a whole company.
Yeah.
It's a structured business that, you know, it's a lot more intricate than just Peter Jackson called Fetty Wap and said, let's go to Europe. Like, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what happened, but it's not what happened. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot more to it than that. So, you know, it's a structured business like any other business. And I think the infrastructure was lacking a long time ago. But people like Drake and Cardi, you know, and more Drake than anybody, but people like Drake and Cardi and shit made it easier for me to get money.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, that boy from Canada keep calling. Yeah, Toronto, like these guys in Toronto, like they're doing this, that, and the third. Like this person, Tory Lanez has got the #1 album on Billboard. Drake's got the #1 record in the world right now. Weeknd just took Drake's spot for the #1 record in the world right now. I've got one of the biggest boutique booking agencies in the world. Like, I'm not playing. Like, that's a fact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I look at Mercules, look at Madchild, look at all these different people, like the kids in Toronto right now, bro. I can name 10 kids in Toronto that are all newer rappers that have bigger buzzes online than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Their numbers on Spotify are double people we're paying 10 grand to come here.
Yeah. Fact.
It's just the business structure might not be set up for them to tour like that, or they're not putting themselves in that position to tour. But like, Pressa's numbers are bigger than people that, I mean, he does good for himself. He's in a great position, but his numbers are huge.
Yeah.
You know, he got records with 30 million hits.
Yeah.
50 million hits. So I think it's just people paying attention to what's going on now. And it's like all that shit makes it easier for all of us. When Pressa does good, it makes it better for me. When Classified does what Classified does, it makes it better for Sunreal. It makes it better for Mercules. It makes it better for myself. Like all that shit just helps because it brings back more eyes on what's going on here.
Yeah, that's a fact. And there's a lot going on here. You know what I mean?
Shout out my guy Butch, man. I ain't said nothing about nobody that's been commenting, but my man Butch, man, that's one of the first people that ever gave me opportunities and shit in this business. And he's like Sheik Luch's. He was like Sheik Luch's right hand on tours and stuff. And those guys, like I said to you early in the interview, like I don't like nobody more than I like those guys in the whole business. Because when I fucked up, those guys would tell me like, yo, P, like you got to make that shit right. Like it's not right. Like I'm not comfortable. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
You know, or they'd be like, yo, this is dope, man. Fucking, I love this. Thank you so much. So it's like, those are the people I like in this business but I'm saying like those guys knew me when I was 18 years old booking shows. So it's like I made a lot of fucking mistakes. and that's why I appreciate people like Sheik and Jada and Butch and Styles and shit, because those guys really gave me opportunities when ain't nobody was. You're gonna let that kid from Canada book you 20 shows and open, and that doesn't even make sense to some people, bro. But
Yeah.
now it makes sense. And like I said to you, it's the Mayweather play. It's like you're the promotions company, you're the network that broadcasts, and you're fighting on the card. He's the headliner. It's a little bit different. I'm not headlining, but I mean,
You're right. You're right before the headliner. You know what I mean? It's the same structure though. Like,
yeah, no, it's warranted. It's warranted. And I mean, when it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Like, we've been booking Tech 9 for 7 years. I don't go on Tech 9's tours, and those are great tours. But it doesn't make sense for me. But those are amazing tours. Some of the best shows we ever have, or tours we ever have, are with Tech. You know, and that's my partner.
Sorry,
What?
that's you saying that reminds me of the point I forgot earlier. But when I was saying, like, you know, I commend you know, you for kind of, you know, being there, you know, and representing artists with opportunities and stuff like that. And I said I lost the point, but that was it. Was the other thing that I thought was dope is that, you know, like, considering you created kind of your company to present yourself opportunities when no one else did. I think it's really dope how, as you built, because I have noticed that with you, when you guys book certain tours, even if they're going to be huge tours, you don't shove yourself down everybody's throat. You know what I mean? If you don't feel like you're a fit for a tour, you don't perform on it, even though it could be greatly beneficial to you. It's like, and that's one thing I really commend too, because I think a lot of people in your position would not do that. They would be hopping on every single stage possible, whether they meshed, whether they didn't mesh, just try, you know what I mean? And that's one thing I think is kind of commendable to your character in this game too, man, because yeah, it's not something I feel like a lot of people would do if they were the ones orchestrating.
I definitely do put myself in a great position though, but when warranted, like I said.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't make people do something. I can't make a promoter, even if I'm the agent or my company's the agency, I can't make a promoter do something. Because it's more important for me to do the business. Like, there's times when we've had 3 or 4 artists doing nationwide tours at the same time. Excuse me, all in the same genre. All in the same. Canada's only so big. There's only so many spots you can hit.
Yeah.
Don't, you know, I mean, we're starting to expand a little bit more nationally and globally now, but, you know, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
It has got to make sense. You know, at the end of the day, it's just got to make sense. It's got to be right. And the other thing is too, like, I've put a lot of other people on tours. I put a lot of opening acts on just cities, but I've put a lot of people on the road nationwide. And to open, or not a lot of people, not for nationwide tours, but, you know, people I fuck with and people I have business relationships with and stuff like that. So, you know, different every time, I guess.
Yeah, man. You know, I think it's dope. You know what I mean? Just like, you know, you really approach it from a point of view of where you're looking at the overall product and what's best for that. You know what I mean? Opposed to what always benefits you as an artist directly. You know what I mean? And I think that's dope. Yeah, I think that's commendable because, you know, a lot of artists, we are out for selves. You know what I mean? Even though
that's not easy to do though.
Yeah, it's not easy to do. That's why hey man, I commend you for that.
I'm very selfish, but
yeah.
I mean, I have to be in order to win in the first place. But it took a long time probably to do that, you know? Because I definitely wish I could just be on everything, but it just doesn't make sense.
No.
But if we're talking about, you know, 50 Cent at Calgary Stampede with 20,000 people, yeah, it's me and 50 Cent. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the right opportunity for me. So
yeah.
I'm not taking no for an answer at that point.
That's huge too, man. That's so huge.
Yeah, we're gonna bring him to Canada. We're gonna bring him to Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do a full tour with him.
Shit, that'll be wild, bro.
Yeah, there's gonna be some good tours when this shit opens up. There's gonna be some big tours, man.
Oh man,
I know we've got 5 to 6 runs for sure.
Damn,
as soon as this shit opens up. The moment it opens up, as soon as I know when I can respectfully do it,
yeah,
I'm telling you right now, 5 or 6 tours out the gate, just in Canada alone.
See, these are
And
these are parts of the conversation I wish weren't public right now, because I just want to be like, yo, who you got coming? But I know you can't let that shit out the bag.
Yeah, no, I tell you, but it's just not proper of me to do that.
No, exactly. That's dope, man. I'm looking forward to what you guys coming out, man. And another thing too, actually, I wanted to make sure we mentioned while we were in here today. You were just on one of my homies' singles. You're on the 420 Click Pretending video that just came out today or yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah. But that video's dope. You killed that shit, man. You know, I wanted to give him a shout out, you know, and bring that up while I was talking to you today.
Yeah. That was a dope record. They put it together and sent it to me and dealt with it properly and did some good business. I do a lot of business with those guys.
Yeah,
they're on a lot of like local shows we do in Oshawa, my spot.
Yep.
And yeah, they're really good guys. The record was really dope. It was good. This video shoot was really dope. It was like a factor grant. They took care of everything, so they were really professional.
Yeah, it looked like that video looked like, whoa. When I seen even just like the behind the scenes, I'm like, oh shit, they really upped it for this one.
Yeah, they had a good director. And then, I mean, as long as you have like good weed and food on set, everybody's happy. I could smoke inside. They asked me, like, you know, they took care of everything. Yeah. They actually, the video they put out before that, I kind of co-starred in, like, not even meaning to. I let them use the radio space to shoot it there. And then the director's like, well, we need a guy to play, like, the host of, like, the love show. He's like, you want to do it? I'm like, all right, cool. So I just ended up getting, like, a little co-star role in the video, like, just... That's dope.
Accidentally. But, yeah, shout outs 420 Click. I want to make sure to shout them out and bring the track up while I was talking to you. But another thing I want to ask you about, too, that I found pretty cool, man, just in some of these memories, you know, that you've been putting up recently out of all this content you said you got. But how do you end up in a restaurant in Quebec at 5 in the morning cooking steaks in the kitchen with Ghostface and Killer Priest and Chic Luch?
That was after a show. The owner of the restaurant let us go there, and they shut the whole thing down. And I mean, it was already shut down. They opened it up for us. Yeah. But it was like Quebec City, Quebec too. So it was like beautiful, beautiful area. I remember everything, just the architectural stuff was all like, the stone was crazy outside. Like, it was one of the nicest, coolest places I ever seen. But yeah, they drank and ate at like 5 in the morning. It was dope.
That's crazy.
That happens a lot though.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
that happens here. That happens at home. That happens everywhere.
That's the thing, man. You know, like, so many cool, like, shit, you know what I mean? Touring with artists and stuff like that. Like, just this different stuff you get to see. It's like, and you can't even begin to ask about it, because, you know, like, how do you even dig in your mind? Like, oh, well, this was a cool you know what I mean? It's just those things that naturally come up in conversation or through you posting videos and stuff. You know what I mean? It's just like, but that's the coolest shit in the world, man. Like, just seeing that kind of behind the scenes. You know,
but it's only cool. It's only cool when the people are cool.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know, like, I wouldn't even want to do that shit with people I didn't get along with. Yeah. You know. But I guess that's neither here nor there. That's a fact, though.
And how did, like, you know, to go back, like, a little further, like, Fresh Start album, 2012, that was your follow-up album to
That was in 2012.
No.
Really?
Fresh Start?
Oh yeah, Fresh Start would have been that. Yeah, 2012, 2013. Yeah.
That time.
That was my second. That's only my second album. I only got like 5 albums.
Yeah, I thought, because that's the follow up to the one with Paperboy on it, right?
Yeah. No, you're right. That was my second project. I was thinking of Since I Was 16.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Last time we interviewed you, you had just put the Since I Was 16 out, actually.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I was curious though, like, you know, because that's one thing. Throughout all your albums, you know, the first one, you know, I remember copping it at either that Roy show or that Naughty show. But, you know, you had Naughty by Nature on there, you had Royce on there, you had Crooked Eye on the remix of Paperboy, or was it Joel Ortiz?
Nah, I had Crooked Eye and Royce on another record called Do That Boy.
Oh yeah, that's it. You know, but just like star-studded album, I'm like, yo, who the hell is this guy from Canada? You know what I mean? And then the next album, drop, and you got freaking Sizzla on there, man. The Locks on there.
Yeah.
Like, crazy. Like, how did you've already kind of explained your relationship with the Locks, but how did you and Sizzla kind of get together? Because you guys have worked together a few times since then too, right?
Yeah, this is like the craziest story ever. And I told it in one interview, but I'll tell it again. And it's the second time I've ever only talked about this. Like, nobody knows this shit, but it's going to be in the docu-series that we're doing.
Okay.
Basically, I had a record where I paid somebody to go get me a Sizzla feature. I sent the record to him. He got me the Sizzla feature back. I put the record together just like any time a feature happens when you're not together. I get the files. I put everything together. The record starts running. It's playing on the radio a little bit, more on the urban shit in Canada. And then all the big like dance hall and reggae DJs start playing the record. Well, I put it in for a Much Fat grant when Much Fat was still around.
Yeah.
Much Fat gives me the grant. So now I got a big bag to shoot the video. So I'm like, okay, so my manager's like, okay, we got to get a hold of Sizzla personally now. We got to go to Jamaica and shoot this shit. So I'm like, sick. What? This is amazing, whatever. So we get a hold of somebody. This person ain't returning our calls, mind you, for a minute first. But we know this is the person we need to speak to. This person puts me with Sizzla, gets on the phone and is like, yo, that's a really dope record, but that's not Sizzla. We're like, what?
What?
Bro, I swear to God, nobody knows this shit either. This is crazy. So he's like, that's not Sizzla, because Sizzla would never say a woman tastes sweet. And in the song, he makes a reference to women tasting sweet. So we're like, what do you mean it's not Sizzla? Like, it's Sizzla. He goes, nah, bro, it sounds good. It sounds like Sizzla, but it's not Sizzla. So we're like, yo, I'm like 18 years old. I'm like, my life is over. My career is over. I just put a record out with with a Bobo Dread, with a real Rastafarian. Like, I just fucking disrespected everybody. Like, I just dropped a record with Sizzla that's not real. But this guy's like, yo, come to Jamaica. We'll redo the song with you and we'll shoot the video. So wow. I'm like, first thing, we fly to Kingston. I go to Sizzla's house. This lady takes me there named Oli Mata. She takes me there, and Rockman Dunbar that was on he was on Prison Break.
Okay.
He was with us too, and my old manager and this lady kind of orchestrated everything. But like, as soon as I get there, there's like 70 of Sizzla's guys at one of his old houses that burned down, and then like me and the two people I came with. And they're like, so yo, how'd you get a fake Sizzla record? Like, people are pissed. And I'm like, yo, I'm not throwing nobody under the bus, but I bought it. Yeah. And they're like, yo, we wouldn't do some shit. Same shit I said to you. We wouldn't say a woman tastes sweet. We would never refer to a woman like that. And they're like, yo, we need to find this person because they're taking food out of our mouth. Oh man. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. We could do that, but whatever. So he basically redid the record with me. He took me to like King Jammy's studio. We recorded a record for his album that night. He drove me around. Like, he really respected what I did, because it's like, bro, I could have been in a really bad position. And my old manager, that's why I give it to him for this play, was like, he was like, nah, we're fucking going. Like, we got to go to Kingston. We got to get this shit done right. Yeah. Because it would have been like, at that point, it could have been detrimental to what I was doing. No, so like, like he shot the video with me at that time. He re-recorded the hook and a verse, and the record was better, and nobody knew nothing else. And we did, we shot other videos together. We did other songs together and shit. But like, he showed me crazy love because I brought something to him that wasn't a good situation. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, people fucked around and made it what it was. But it's like, bro, I'm telling you, like, the biggest, even to this point, if you hear both versions of that record, you wouldn't know it's not him. Even he was like, yo, bro, he couldn't believe it. He was like looking at me like, yo, this is good. Like, he's got a very distinctive voice. Yeah, yeah. So for that to be the case is not normal. Like, anybody who knows dancehall, he's not a dancehall artist, but anybody who knows reggae music wouldn't even believe that. Yeah. They
That's
wouldn't believe it. Like, we shot that video in like the middle of Carnation Market. We shot that video in Judgment Yard. Like, they invited me back. I went and sat with his mother and shit like that. So they really respected what we did off that, and you know, that just stems from having good people around me that set all that up.
That's crazy, man. I would have never imagined like that was.
Nah, nobody knows that shit. But that's what the document, bro. I got crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
Like that's what the docu-series is about, and it's like that's why I'm getting a really big partner, like network for it, because it's actually like it's like that Lil Dicky show, Dave or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Watch the first episode with him and what happens. I got 10 of those.
Shit.
And I got it all documented.
That's
I got
crazy.
all the footage, everything.
That's so dope, man. I can't wait to start seeing some of that roll out, man. Cause
Yeah.
I can only imagine some of the shit you see, man, and just some of the stuff you guys got documented. Like, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy, man. That's fucking crazy. Man, there's so much to cover with you, man. You got so much history. You know, I don't want to keep you all night. I know you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, give it like 5 more minutes, wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll cut it up. You know, and then it leaves some meat on the bones for next time we talk to each other as well, too. You know what I mean? But
yeah, definitely.
One thing I did want to talk about too is you got was the most recent single My Sanity, or I Need You Back? It was a My Sanity, right?
Yeah, My Sanity was the most recent record. That's off my next project.
That is going to
It's
be
not
on
really.
it.
Yeah, it's on the 23.5 project. So only record off of that's out. And then there's another record off of that drops May 1st, and then I got the other single and I got the video. So there's a bunch of shit coming. A lot of shit coming.
Dope. And you don't have, obviously, with this stuff going on, you don't have like a specific date or like exact time for the 23.5 yet, right?
No.
All right.
No.
Dope. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. Before I do let you go, you brought him up earlier when we were talking about the rise of Canadian artists. So I just wanted to ask about this joint, too. But the All the Time joint with Tory Lanez, how did that track come about? Because that shit's fucking fire, man.
I put Tory on some shows to open a long time ago.
Okay.
Like long time ago, like Slaughterhouse tour or something. He opened up for like the Toronto show or something like that.
Like so Freddie Fake days?
Yeah, yeah. So we've known each other for a long time, but one of my best friends in the music business was Brooklyn, the rapper from Winnipeg. He passed away. Brooklyn actually put me on the phone with him. Like one day he was like, "Yo, you don't talk to Tory like that. He's blowing up." And I'm like, "Nah, we know each other." But he's like, "Yo, hit him up. Go to the studio tonight." So that's how we got in the studio. I mean, we've kind of built more of a relationship since then. But Brooklyn actually put me in the studio with him.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, some like real roundabout. Like it's different, right? Because I don't think people realize how big of a rapper Brooklyn was.
Yeah.
Especially on our side, because like he's native. He was from the West Coast, basically. Like, I mean, the middle of Canada, but he's from Winnipeg. But like Winnipeg's hip hop scene is massive.
Yeah.
Winnipeg is the best hip hop market in the country. Not Toronto, not Edmonton, not Vancouver, not Halifax. Winnipeg is the best hip hop market in the country. And especially for me, like I sell the most amount of everything there.
Really? Eh?
Everything. Merch yesterday was crazy in Winnipeg.
No
like
shit.
I just put my merch shit out yesterday. We did like extremely well, but the amount of people from Winnipeg and just like shows in Winnipeg, I mean, Brooklyn and those guys were making like 10,000-15,000 a night. Like
wow.
That his group that those guys had was really dope, man. With John C. and Feta.
Yeah.
That shit that they had was amazing. And then those guys as solo artists, like those guys were doing something special.
That's crazy, man. That's dope. Sorry, you kind of cut out for a second there, so I missed the last part of what you said.
Yeah, no, sorry. My phone keeps ringing, bro.
Oh, okay. That was you.
I was just saying those guys had something real special.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's dope. That's cool that it happened really organically like that too. So do you guys record that the All the Time joint like that first night in the studio then?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay, cool. Dope, man. That's super dope. All right, man. Well, I'm not gonna ask another question because that it'll keep going. That's been that's been 5 minutes. I appreciate your time very much, brother. You know what I mean? Just keep killing shit. I can't wait to see what you got, in the tuck for these tours and stuff once all this COVID shit dies down. Excited to hear, the new album once you guys get ready to roll that out, all the stuff, man. And, look forward to, chopping it up in the future again, man. There's so much to talk about. I could talk to you for hours, my G. You got deep history.
I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm
No.
not trying to cut you off. But we've been a minute, so.
Yeah, no. You can't go forever, you know what I mean? It's gonna be stuff for later. But
it's all good.
I appreciate it. Stay safe. Hope you and the family all stay safe. Let's get through this
my
shit.
brother.
Yeah, man. Salute, brother.
All right, yo.
Cheers.